Yes, people, welcome to the first ever episode of, again, I think I have the wrong. Yeah, this is not what we're looking for here. Just give me 1 second. Welcome to the first ever episode of the Daily Roundup on Chelsea Perspective. And sorry, I do have the wrong background right there. That's the correct one. Yeah, again, it's not how we started, but how it ends. But that's, by the way, welcome to the first ever episode of the daily Chelsea Daily Roundup show on Chelsea Perspective. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're eating blue, sleeping blue, and waking up blue. Overall, I hope you're living the blue life. Helgi, how are you doing? Again, are you excited to be the first ever guest on this show?
Absolutely. It's a pleasure for me to be in this inaugural episode of the show, and hopefully will be another bonus to the dimensions that the channel already has and contributes even more to the growth of it. So, very excited.
Yeah, again, I'm excited too and a bit nervous. Every time I start at something new, I'm usually nervous. You can see how I mismatched the intro, but that's by the way. Again, it's going to be usually, again, it will be a 30 minutes to 1 hour show. It depends on how quickly we're able to round up. And here's my friend Lola, as usual, one of the first to be available for the show. Lola, how are you again? Again. For me, I'm doing well, and for you, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for always finding the time to join and support us, even though you're a Barcelona fan. Viva Shamus again. This is the guy who is always negative on Twitter.
No, I'm not. I'm
that's
just proportional with the situation. If it
that's a
changes, I will
dig on
change as
you.
well.
That's the dig on you. And Shama is laughing so hard he couldn't believe it. But that's, by the way, again, people, if you're watching, if you haven't right now, how many likes? So we have about 5 likes. If you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Now, it's important that I explain the show to you. It's called, again, the Chelsea Daily Roundup Show. Every evening at this time, I don't know. I know it's not evening for everybody. We take our time to do our research. And then again, you could say merge everything that has happened during the day together and then present it to you. So even if you missed anything during the day, maybe you are at work, this is the show that you don't want to miss because she will help you catch up with everything you've missed. But that's, by the way, let's see what else we have. And we'll try to keep it as interactive as possible, but not too much like the Blue Morning Show because it's a short one. You've been caught. Yeah, yeah. How has been caught. A time rebuild this team. Again, you can argue that. Fulham is still above us. Yeah, that's one concerning aspect of the whole team. But let's get into it straight away. Here's the first thing I want us to talk about here, Helge. It's this one here, which says breaking news: Chelsea owners Todd Boehly and partners are interested in acquiring a 100% stake, which means buying the entire club in Strasbourg, and have recently met with club president Mark Keller. That's according to a French outlet. Now the question is again, we understand what they're doing. It's that plan to
Mm,
have. I don't know if I'd be correct to call it satellite clubs.
yeah.
Again, but again, if they buy as a club, you could say as big as Strasbourg, then they wouldn't be a satellite club. They'd have to be doing well too in the French league, otherwise they get relegated. But that's, by the way. What do you have anything to add to that, or should you just move on?
No, actually, I said because I was called negative here, so this is something I'm very positive about. Actually,
Yeah, why do
it's
you think it's
yeah,
something
yeah,
positive?
it is because the multi-club model in principle is something that is encourageable from any kind of perspective. So Man City has a similar model, and the clubs that they use as a satellite aren't as tiny as people may think. So Palermo have a tradition in Italy, example, Girona in Spain, so New York City, so teams that of course can't be compared with Man City in terms of size and level of investment, but still are teams that are beneficial to the whole structure. So it's not a surprise for me because the owners have been interested in signing a club as a satellite, and even Lyon was mentioned, which is considerably bigger than Strasbourg, for example. Bordeaux was mentioned, Sochaux was mentioned. So now in Strasbourg, let's see how it goes. It's not the main topic of our actual issues and the topics regarding the main club of Chelsea. But for me, it's a positive.
Yeah, again, if that's how you say that, I'm concerned. And I think I read something recently regarding again, football governing bodies around the world to trying to find a way to stop people again like let's say just like the Clearly consultant owning multiple clubs because they fear it could lead to to cheating, wanting one club to do you a favor or something like that. But that's by the way I like it. Hopefully, it doesn't. I don't know. Again, the question: how are they going to manage a big club as Strasbourg and Chelsea Football Club? It's not easy.
But
If you're, yeah.
that's why I took Lyon's example as a reference. They were eager to buy Lyon as well, which would really be a case of saying a big club a club that has won the French league title for 6 years in a row from 2002 to 2008, which is considerably bigger than
Hmm.
Strasbourg in principle. So in terms of management, I don't know because I'm skeptical about a number of things. But as an idea, it could be useful if they know what they are doing. And from this point position that we are in, we can't say anything more. Just in principle, I think that it could be good as a talent factory that can be useful for the first team, or if some players that can be with potential for the first team don't end up being as predicted, they can move to these satellite clubs, which as long as it hasn't caused problem for Man City, if they know what they're doing, I think it won't cause problems for us either.
Once more, again, if you're just joining us, I will again on multiple occasions as the show progresses explain to you what the again the daily roundup show is. Again, it's a show. If you missed anything during the day because you're at work, at school, this is a show you don't want to miss because again it helps you. We go through everything that has happened during the day and analyzes it, but it be brief because it's a very short show, at most 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes. I hope it doesn't get to that. Good afternoon, my Chadwick Evans. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to talk about here. Helge is here. Let's look at it. This says again, from I say, had a man midfield shortly. So four of those on the list were Enzo Fernandez, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, and Moises Caicedo. From the would find the best of those in the list.
Including or excluding Enzo?
Are you there, Helgi? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, including Enzo. Like he said, let me read
Yeah.
that again. It says for either
Yeah.
January or summer. Four of those includes Enzo Fernandez, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, and Moses Caicedo. Would you say was signed the best from the list, or would you say would you
Yeah.
rather have gone for anyone that's on the list?
Yeah. No, I think we have made the right choice in terms of signing Enzo. As far as I have seen, we have signed not just a player who could have been easily signed by other big names in the football market. Real Madrid, Man City. He's showing that quality
Hmm.
with his forward passing, and although we haven't been as structurally good as I would have liked us to be, he has shown the moments where we can we can we can say for sure that we have made a very good investment on him, despite the price that some may question, but that's modern football for you. And so between those four, I think we have made the right choice in Enzo. I like I said though as well. What he has done at Brighton is something to keep an eye on. He has progressed very smoothly, and it's not. It's only a matter of time because before he goes to a big club. So if there was a second name in that list that I would go for, that's Caicedo. But let's see how N'Golo Kante's contract renewal will impact this fact, because uh, um, if you judge the profile, Caicedo would have been a logical replacement to N'Golo. But let's see. So between all those four, I think we have made the right choice in Enzo, not just as a profile of a player or the fact that he proved himself in the World Cup, but considering what he has done at Benfica and what he has shown in these games for us, sometimes in some games more than the others. It's still in fragments, it's still in sporadically, but I think that over time he'll show that we have made a very good investment on him, and I don't think it's right to judge a player solely on the price tag. If he's good enough, then the price tag gets forgotten very easily, and I think Enzo is the right one.
Yeah, looking at the list, even looking at it, we have on the list we have Enzo Fernandez, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, and Moses Casado. I think we've made the right choice. Although some people still argue we paid too much for him, but I wouldn't. I think it's worth the price because we
I
wanted
doubt,
them.
I doubt,
We wanted them this
yeah,
January transfer window. Yeah.
I doubt the other names would have been any cheaper. So Brighton actually um, briefed the media that they wanted 90 million plus for Caicedo. West Ham have been incredibly reluctant to sell Rice for a lower price than 100 million for many transfer windows in a row. And the
Hmm.
same for Bellingham. We know how tough Dortmund are in negotiations. Had the experience with Haaland, so they wouldn't have been any cheaper. Even if somebody have been any cheaper, it would have been for not a considerable price compared to what we paid for Enzo. So I don't think that the price argument really fits, considering the alternative options from this point of view. So the only way you can distinguish all them maybe is quality. They aren't the same profile of players. Rice is more of a defensive midfielder. He can also play forward, but it's Enzo. It's somebody that also stylistically adds a lot to our team, and I'm very delighted with his choice. And hopefully he emulates what Cesc Fabregas did for us at his peak. So it's an exciting signing, not just from a functional point of view, what he brings to the team as a surplus to what we have, but also from a stylistic point of view, we can see him what he can do. For example, the assist he gave to Felix against West Ham is an evidence of that, and we hope that he will be a very successful signing for us. So, in this regard, I'm very delighted with the choice we made.
I am too. I am, and I must say again, I am with you again. I would take him over all the players that are on the list. Yeah, he's an excellent player. And at the time when we signed him, we had to pay premium to get him. It was January, and it wasn't easy to get a replacement for him. And like you said, other players on the list also wouldn't have been that cheap. They were all would have been very costly. Given we wanted him, and from what we're learning, recent reports showed we were well aware that it comes summer that other clubs will be interested in securing his signature.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, and then it will not be difficult. And there's no guarantee we'll have Champions League football at that time. So it makes sense to secure his signature right now. This one right here is an interesting one. It talks about, again, our temporary home when we, again, start the stadium rebuild, where we're going to be. To me, surprisingly, there's Craven Cottage there. I think it
Yeah,
has to do with the distance from the training ground,
yeah.
maybe one of the closest. Then
Yeah.
we have one of them. What stadium is this? Okay, let me just go through it. Chelsea are hoping to reach a decision on the redevelopment of Stamford Bridge by, again, this summer. Wembley, Twickenham, and Craven Cottage are possible temporary stadiums. So should Chelsea require a new home, that is if they don't, again, approach it in the way Tottenham did. Yes, because
Mhm.
Tottenham, they were still playing in the stadium while the renovation was going on. To me, I think that would be more expensive because you'd have to be very strategic about it. I don't know. What do you think? And which of these homes do you think would be better off with?
I did.
Playing temporarily while the redevelopment of the stadium goes on.
Yeah, I have been with Dan in the show during the sanctions when the topic was initially mentioned, and I expressed my view that the ideal scenario would be to construct the new stadium stand by stand, and when the
Hmm.
team keeps playing at the bridge. Actually, I don't know the complications it may have with the other buildings around the area or stuff, but uh, from a principal point of view, I think that it would have been much better. And I'm actually worried, not to be negative by the sake of it, but as you mentioned, the financial investment is huge, and considering the precedents that it has shown
if they try to renovate it while we remain in the stadium, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, stand by stand. Yeah, yeah. It's something that I have read that Liverpool owners are trying to do with Anfield, and I wanted us to follow the same road, because a building from the scratch may have a lot of financial implications, and I don't want this um, the choice of trying to change the home from the scratch and try to build something new, how it can impact the budget for the transfers, which is something that you need. If you have a real project, you have to not just to build the team, but also to renovate it, as Man City have been doing. So that's what I want us to have, and I fear a lot that the new stadium may have implications on that. Also, considering what we have spent so far, which can alienate the fans even more towards the situation. So I don't want us to have a case of building a state-of-the-art stadium. Arsenal have done very well with Emirates in this regard. From an architectural point of view, it's a very convincing stadium from aesthetically. But the thing is that it impacted their financial capabilities for the further windows and alienated the fans. And Tottenham have had the same situation when they moved from White Hart Lane to the current stadium. So I don't want us to build it from the scratch, actually. But if I had to choose one, I agree with you that Craven Cottage is too tiny. And
yeah, that's nearly, it's 25,700. That's nearly 15,000 short of a capacity of Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, it's nearly as half of it. And if you consider the kind of players that we have signed, you have Mudryk, for example, who likes to accelerate towards the byline, and this kind of stadium may restrict his natural ability of him to.
Are you saying that the pitch size itself could be smaller? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, actually, it may be a problem. Even Stamford Bridge, actually, it's sometimes some people debate that it's a problem. It's a legit argument from a certain point of view, and considering the other players we have signed, there are players who loves to use the space to optimize it, and Craven Cottage may be too tiny for that. There are stadiums that are very well suited for direct football, counter-attacking football, that you don't need many passes to go to score. So Craven Cottage for me is a no. I don't know much about Twickenham. Maybe from as I have seen, I think it's a rugby stadium, if I'm not wrong.
If it's a what?
Rugby is played the national team of England, or not?
I'm not sure. I don't know that stadium very well.
Yeah, that's why I don't know it either. Aesthetically, it seems great, but only through a case of trying to break the curse, maybe we could move to Wembley. For some people, it may be a sort of preventing factor, considering our horrendous record there in the cup finals. But maybe it would be the most optimal choice. I don't know.
Twickenham is 82,000 capacity. Probably, we'll be renting the stadium probably more expensive. So I don't know if the logic would be, if we go to a stadium like the Craven Cottage Stadium, it will cost less. I don't know. Again, if that's like nearly 15,000
it's not
less.
about the cost of the rent. It's my fear also the cost of investment from demolishing the stadium and trying to build it from the scratch.
I think here's the thing: the owners, they've proven they're smart people. I think I don't think the cost of the stadium will be an issue, if that makes sense. But that's, by the way, I think we're going to move on from that particular topic. If anybody in the chat has anything to add to it, again, logic Dan. Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind. I can't sing right now, but I know the song quite well, and it's one of my favorite songs. I'm only human after all. I'm not going to sing it. Copyright issues here. But that's, by the way, I love the song, and I can't sing. Again, I've been losing my voice for days right now. But Big up to you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. And Gabriel A. Twinkleman would be good. I think it's going to be very expensive. 82,000 capacity. Can we fill that? No. I think it would just be unnecessary expense because I'm sure the bigger the stadium, the capacity of the stadium, the more we'd have to pay to rent the space, if that makes sense. Again, yeah, rugby 80K capacity plus. It says 82,000, so you're correct. Again, and good links for transport. Oh, maybe transportation, maybe they consider
it
that
may be
too.
affected, of course.
Yeah, so let's see. You can big Chelsea fan base there too. So maybe it makes sense. So you know the area better than we do. I don't know the area. To me, Kirby Cotton seats small, but it has a good enough capacity that we can manage for the duration of the you could say reconstruction process. Forget the side again. Buy a new striker and score some goals instead. Yeah, I get where you're taking that to. But here's the thing: we have to be cautious when we call for the club to sign a striker. You have to be specific. What type
I'm
of
against
striker?
actually. I'm against
Yeah. So
signing a
again,
nine.
it wouldn't make sense because again, let's see what Graham Potter does. Graham Potter doesn't differ that much from Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel doesn't like playing, your stereotypical strikers. I think Graham Potter doesn't like to do that either. So if you sign a striker and you sign him a stereotypical striker, then you'll be watching Lukaku 2.0, and I don't want that to happen. So Helgi, quickly, if you want to talk about again this input there from Logic Dan saying we should sign a striker, your thoughts?
No, I'm actually against it because there is a cultural shift in modern football in general that many teams are implementing styles focused on more interchangeable attack, like people that can
Hmm.
play in different positions and be versatile. So I fear that as
Hmm.
it happened with Lukaku, it may restrict our general attacking play. So don't want that case. Osimhen and Tony are good names actually, but you have to contextualize them. How would they play for us in this system? So very meticulous analysis should be done before making a decision. But for me, it's
Yeah,
better to have an out-and-out attacker rather than a point of reference up front.
yeah. A point of reference offers it's a risk. Again, let me explain this for those who don't understand what we mean by a point of reference. When you sign again traditional striker, and if that striker is on the pitch, it simply means whenever he gets a goal scoring, you try to find him in the box. And this things again, when that's the case, remember when we had Lukaku, whenever he's on the pitch, it just seemed as if all the players, the wingers, the midfielders, whenever they have the ball, they start looking for Lukaku, which means we're channeling all our goal scoring opportunities through a single individual, which means if you can stop that individual, you're going to stop him. So it's a risk. And Osimhen, as much as I like him, I know he's a better player than Lukaku. I know his good touch. Probably can do well again, can adapt quickly in a fluid approach, that quicker than Lukaku would. But here's the thing: the truth remains, he's played as a traditional striker all his life, so it would take some adaptations. It wouldn't work, and I will not advocate for that. So if you're watching, keep liking the stream, guys. It's going to be a short one, at most 1 hour. Again, and it will be a daily show. It's called again. I will explain again what it is for. Again, daily the Chelsea news roundup. What we do there is again we bring together everything that's been talked about Chelsea throughout the day again, and try to compress it to make it concise and discuss it with you. Yeah, again, it's something you don't want to miss, especially if you're at work during the day or at school during the day and miss them. We will bring them to you. Yes, people, keep liking the stream and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Gabriel A says again, would again Vlahovic fit? I don't know. Do you think Vlahovic will fit? Helgi?
Well, I fear actually that he is very well suited to Juve. They have a more cautious approach, and when they counter, he is a very good weapon. But I don't know how he would fit in this in a more proactive system.
Mm-hmm.
So it would, if Osimhen basically put and Tony would represent a risk, for me Vlahovic would represent an even higher risk.
Because he
So
hasn't played in the Premier League.
Osimhen has an eye, but the thing is that these two. So Tony has played in the Premier League, and Osimhen is playing in a very dynamic and system at Napoli, and they prefer to keep the ball and create chances. So you have
Mm-hmm.
an evidence. While Vlahovic has been playing in a very cautious system under Allegri, they don't tend to keep the ball that much. So, as it happened with Lukaku, not trying to make parallelisms in every sense, but there is a similarity in the case that both would be coming from clubs that prefer to play on the counter rather than to create chances on their own. So our focus should be on Osimhen and Tony if they really decide to sign a nine. But as I said, in general, for me, it would be more sure to focus on out and out attackers.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we should go again for again hybrid strikers, not stereotypical strikers. With Vlahovic, you've heard you heard Helgi speak about that. Vlahovic, yep, I understood that was what you're trying to. I understand. Again, add generational attacking play. General attacking play is not producing much glory at the moment. That's the truth. Again, when we get the chances, we don't put them away. Is this something that I think that day we can again the manager is capable of solving? I'm not going to get into that really again, but the truth is we've been poor in front of goal. Big up family again, please let's like the stream. We're 27 likes. Let's try to get it to at least 50. This is the first again edition of this particular show. I was so nervous I actually played the wrong intro, but we're fine. Yes, people, keep liking the stream and also do support the channel and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for that. Again, in Kunku, I think he will be massive. I think, but the question again, if we end up signing, what's his name, signing Joao Felix,
Felix,
and again, and have him, and then Kunku also wants to play in a 10 position. Maybe again, we're better off going with a fluid approach so that they can all switch places if need be. Let's see what else we have here. We should sign Ramos from Benfica. Is it the guy who already been linked with Helgi?
no, I haven't. I must have missed that actually.
I think there's a player that's been talked about that will link to. I'm not sure which player it is. But that's by the weekend. I don't know him that much, so I wouldn't preach his name. But I'd have to research him again. Pick up Coach and Helgi. Pick up to you too, Ty from Chelsea Sessions. If you haven't, please go check out Chelsea Sessions. Some again, all of them, all excellent videos, excellent analysis, profile videos, especially. Go check it out. If you click on the three dots by his name, you'd see you can again go to his channel, check it out, watch the videos, and believe me, you will thank me later. And Ty, if you can share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. If you get a permanent deal done for Felix, do you think Mount is part of the transfer deal? Mount fits again Diego Simone's Mount. You could say is a perfect Diego Simone type of player, given his energy, the amount of running he does. Again on the pitch, or let's say if you prefer his industry overall, I think he is a perfect. He will be a perfect signing for Diego Simone. The question is, would they want him? I really
No.
do not know. And big up to you too, my brother. Again, the Other Time podcast. Whenever you get a chance, share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. Okay, Gonzalo.
Ramos.
Okay, do you
Yeah,
know him that
no,
well?
yeah, he played in the World Cup. Actually, scored against Switzerland. But I don't think they will try I think he's young and they will try to see more of him if they decide on him. Don't think they will actually have the urge to negotiate with Benfica again,
Hmm.
considering the soap opera that happened with Enzo till the very last minutes of the transfer window.
Hmm.
So I don't see it as realistic from any point of view. He gave an impression in the World Cup. I agree. And when I saw him, his shooting was particularly very well, positioning good. So it's an interesting name, but I don't think we'll gamble on him. He will cost
Okay.
a lot if we would be looking for him. So I think they will go for other names.
All right. Again, let's see again. Thank you, Ty, for bringing that up there. Again, researching. I don't know him that much. Big up Kachila Empire, following you live at work. Button Lambeka, nice to see you, brother. It's been a minute, and I hope you're doing well. Please do let me know you're doing well. And here's the link to Ty. It's a YouTube channel called Chelsea Sessions. You have to go check it out. Please be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Again, buying Nkunku already. Nkunku is a Chelsea player. All that is left, Nkunku is signed, sealed. All that is left is just the delivery, and he joins us in June together with his fellow Frenchman, Melo Gusto, if that makes sense. I don't think Mount will go to Spain, probably Arsenal. And I think so too. I think he would want to go to a place that will feel the pain, that we will regret selling him. I think he'd like something like that. Again, Ramos scored a hat-trick for Portugal in 2022 World Cup. How did I miss that? Or maybe I didn't pay attention to his name.
Yeah, they lost 6-1 actually.
With his BFF Declan Rice, I don't think Arsenal will sign them both. I don't think so. Again, but we'll see what happens there. Again, Osimhen it will be a gamble also again, and be a big gamble for Lukaku 2.0. Like I said, again, that doesn't mean Osimhen will be a bad signing, but it will be Lukaku 2.0 given the way Graham Potter likes to approach the game. I don't want to see that happen to him because I like him. I was born in Nigeria, so I do love Osimhen very well. I honestly still believe that Chelsea will suddenly click into gear this season and start blowing everyone away. When is the question? It will again. I don't know really, but let's see. We're capable of blowing any team away in the Premier League. The question is the manager capable of again applying an effective tactic? That's the question. Or getting the players to start playing together as soon as possible. No more post-World Cup young players. Yeah, we don't want to do that. But that's by the way, again, I hope Chelsea will not sign Rice. Again, I too don't want Rice at the club, but I don't know. Again, Rice and Mount will destroy Arsenal. Again, it would be good again for Mount if he goes to Atletico. He would improve as a player in that, again, Griezmann's position. Here's the thing. I think as much as I don't think Mount is a bad player, I don't think he's the best player at Chelsea. I just want him to go where he'd be coached, where the managers will look beyond his industry or the amount of running he does and recognize that he really needs to learn quite a lot. That's the sort of place I want to see him. But that's, by the way, we don't know what's going to happen. But to me, I'd argue it's more likely that he leaves the club than he stays, given that, again, as time, the lesser he has on his contract, again, the more he'd recognize if I leave on a free, maybe I'd get more money somewhere else. Or maybe we can from a sign-on bonus and all that. The situation, I think he has all the cards. It's very difficult for the clubs to get him to do what they want, and I don't know what's the holdup. Chelsea only need Nkunku and Caicedo and sell Cucurella, Fofana, Pulisic, Havertz, Loftus-Cheek. This just question, just quickly, Helgi. We have the youngster. What's the Brazilian youngster? Santos. Do you think we still need Enzo? We still need Moises Caicedo, really?
Well, actually, we do, depending on the on situations that we can't predict now. One of them is, as you mentioned, Mount's contract situation, and I don't know what will happen with Kovacic either. So we are dependent on things that we can't really predict from this at this moment. And I would like us to keep Jorginho actually at least till the end of the season, but it didn't happen. So it indicates how unpredictable this kind of situation may be. And Santo has his own problems regarding the work permit and the visa issues. I read a report today that even a loan move to Palmeiras had broken down, so he may go back to Vasco da Gama, the club from where he was signed from. So there are many complications regarding his situation, and I wouldn't be dependent on that. So from my point of view, I think we need Caicedo, and also it would be strengthened if we saw an outgoing activity from the club for a number of midfielders that we already have. In the comment you have Loftus-Cheek mentioned, which I have said for a long time now that it's not our quality, so it should have been sold in the previous windows. And even Mount, I think I agree with you that it's more likely to see him gone than stay, and that's a positive for me because we need a refreshment in this regard. So yeah, I don't think Caicedo would be redundant.
All right. Again, I think Arsenal has already made it too expensive. In what sense would you, if you ask? Because they went in with 70 million, and 70 million was rejected, which means Brighton will most likely not sell him for anything less. It wouldn't make any sort of sense if they do. But that's, by the way, people keep liking the stream. 32 likes already. I am excited and I appreciate that. Our biggest problem is that we cannot sign up for targets. All this other teams jump, especially Real Madrid, and that is simple. Again, that's a solid argument. Exactly, because again, no disrespect to Mount, but we are not going to give him again the big contract he wants, and it'd be beneficial for his career instead of playing like this during his best years. Yeah, he should go to a place where the manager will recognize there's more to his again. He can offer more than just run around again 90 minutes or whatever you want, how long you want on the pitch. Ancelotti cannot do anything even because again, let's keep the topics aligned. Again, we'll like to assess when we can that we have enough class players, but we don't have. Again, we need to grow up. You don't have to. The last part is unnecessary. Just present your argument. It's as simple as that. Present your argument and move on. Logic down says again, we need a Kante back. Again, that will complete our midfield. I think Kante will make a whole lot of difference. I've argued that before. I know Kante traditionally is an 8, but Kante, I think you could say, is more defensively sound than Enzo. And he will be the guy, if he's on the pitch, can be more, should I say, resolved or more disciplined, while Enzo will have the independence to be more adventurous and do more that we know he can do. And Kunku on Force 9, not to see him. Yep, I think so too. Eugene, you're so obsessed with Madrid. Yeah, I think he's secretly a Madrid fan, if you ask me. No Casado, let's see, Zubimendi is good and probably not that expensive. We were linked to him during this past January transfer window, but I don't know whether it was serious or not. From Real Society, yeah, I think I know him. We've talked about him. Yeah,
positions, yeah.
Go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, about the comparison between Zubimendi and Caicedo. Caicedo is more advanced, so I don't think it impacts the signing of one impacts the signing of the other. I think he's more of a defensive midfielder that can be of our Rodri if we sign, rather than somebody who could be more similar to N'Golo Kante as a natural 8. So don't think they collide with each other in the sense of choosing one or the other. They are different kind of players from a natural point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're very different. Let's see, because they have always best players, and we need to follow their steps. Again, follow the way they do things. I don't think we really necessarily have to do that. Decent player, Zubimendi, I think he is. But again, I didn't get to research him that much, but from little last thing, I think he's good. He's a good midfielder overall. But this one here, it's important. This one, here's why I want us to talk about this one. This is a Graham Potter on pressure. He's experienced as a Chelsea manager. It's his family life suffers, mental health suffers. But again, you, the media, are not really bothered. Here's the thing. I don't know what to say about this. The truth is, again, the only thing here is that he's human. I think the pressure and the whole thing that's been talked about him, I think he gets the whole thing gets to him. I think we should judge him. Whenever you judge him objectively. Judge him as a human being. Judge him about the job he's doing. Don't go beyond calling him. Don't go to the extent of calling him names, because he's a human being. As much as, again, I'm not his biggest fan. As much as I've come to terms to the conclusion that I don't think he's the guy that will lead us to where we expect to be as Chelsea Football Club. I think my advice to everybody is, again, just be fair. Judge him fairly. Judge him from an objective perspective. Judge him given the job, based on the job he's doing. Don't take it personal, to a personal extent. Don't start calling him names and all that nonsense. Again, your thoughts. Like I've seen somebody call him deadbeat. I don't think it makes sense to do that. Judge him if you think You think it's not a good coach, just say it. If you think it's not a good manager, just say it. If you want him out, just say it. Don't go to the extent of again being what's how do you pronounce the name again, derogatory or something. But your thoughts, how? I
Yeah,
know you don't like him, but I haven't seen you
yeah, I
gone to
know.
the extent of calling him names. But you go
No,
ahead.
I'm aware of that. I also tweeted today that I said that it's fine if people feel sorry from a human point of view, but the reality is that what I want to see, as you said, as objectively as possible. So I'm totally focused on the professional point of view rather than the human one, because the human one is normal to feel sorry because there are many reasons how can you interpret that, and we can solely focus on the job he's doing and stuff. What I'm not pleased with is the fact that he is expressing this to the media, which is a sign of softness in an environment where you can't be this soft. It's naturally comes due to moving higher in the football hierarchy, and the reality is that at the worst possible thing, I'm not trying to robotize the discussion, but in the worst possible thing, he may get a big payoff, which is something that he wouldn't have got at Brighton, or many managers at his place wouldn't have even been in this position. So for me, maybe from a human point of view, I agree with what you're saying, and people have it, and maybe if the quote was more elaborated, we could have had a more contextualized um, frame on to discuss on it. But from a professional point of view is where my concerns lie as a fan, and it's something that you don't open up to the media. It people. The most successful managers around have been too reserved with the media because they know that in the very first moment they are in difficulty, the media will haunt them because the media have their own interests. They don't care about things that may be interpreted as lack of empathy or something. They just care to do their own job in a robotized way. So it's for me it's just what I have been saying in the stream where I was here some days ago, and also what I've been saying. It's a case of habitats. Football works in habitats. No one is taking away from him what he did at Brighton or at Ostersunds. But Chelsea is Chelsea, and he has made a big jump. So for me, just the job pressure is getting to him, and just decreases even more my confidence on him. And that's why I said that it would be the best thing to part ways after the Southampton game, because the situation is a bit radical in terms of performance and result. I would be the first one to say I was proven wrong if it somehow changes. But realistically speaking, from a professional point of view and seeing it as a fan, it's a bit worrying to have the manager say it, and somewhat seek for that empathy of the media, which in England can give a counterproductive effect very easily. You know how harsh it is, how brutal it is, how hectic it is from any kind of point of view. So from a human point of view, yes, I agree that people may need to be more cautious, and at the end of the day, they are human. So people interpret the thing in the different situation in different manners. But from a professional point of view, it's a bit worrying as a fan to see it. I don't want to make comparisons with Thomas Tuchel, but the reality is that he had also his problems, had the divorce, had to face the sanctions, had to face this and that, and
Hmm.
it didn't open to the media because the media won't be in his side if he continues this way. It's a public business, so I don't think it's effective. That's my point of view on this. But on a human level, I totally agree with what you said.
Yeah, again, let's see things, see him as a human first, judge him for the job he's doing, and don't go personal, don't go to the extent of calling him names. That's just what I'm arguing. Again, but that's it. Again, you judge him again based on again. I'm gonna repeat myself again. Judge him based on the job he's doing. Don't go personal. Don't attack him. Don't call him names. I don't think it's okay. I think that's what I'm advising you to do here. Let's face it, we have all the tools already. We just need a good mechanic. Yeah,
Yeah, I
maybe
agree.
that's what. Again, I still support Porter. Chukwuemeka, again, Oyeme Joe, nice to see you here. I hope you've already subscribed to the channel. Please do drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And thank you for 35 likes already. This is the first episode of this show. I was so nervous. I played the wrong intro, even though I've done YouTube again, content creating for a while now. But again, every time I start something new, that's how it is with me. Nonsense in what sense? I really want to know. I'm not sure what you're saying. I don't think saying nonsense is necessary. Just make your point that you know. I will also get your point. Always teams again with best players win trophies. That's the truth. You don't win trophies if you don't have the best players. But I don't think it's necessary saying nonsense here. We need to follow the. We don't need to do it as exactly as they're doing it with Chelsea. For instance, the new owners, their plan is to sign a lot of kind of young talent, exceptional talent, and then gradually those talents, as they mature, they get integrated in the first team. So we end up not spending that much money as Madrid to get them to start firing. And that's a different way to go by it, but it takes time. That's the thing. So you don't saying nonsense is really not necessary. Who have become best players win? Yep, I've heard that before. And Makim Neum says Zakaria and Ruben. Let me see. Can play a big part in unlocking Enzo. Again, it's too much of pressure on Kante's comeback. I think we should be cautious as to how much we use Kante. We don't want a situation where he gets injured again and then the setback again once more. I think we should use him cautiously, which means we need somebody who can be pairing Enzo. Enzo himself can play every game. We need to rotate if that makes sense. He's got, again, a discharge clause in his contract. Again, Boehly, not silly. Yep, they're not stupid. Again, we lose again away again. Willis were for curse when we signed Fabregas. If someone of you remember, again, also Modric now. In the case of Modric, Daniel Levy will never sell him to us.
Yeah,
he'd rather sell him to Madrid if that makes sense. This is the key thing I quite understand. He's already lost the media. You could argue that, and yeah, it's not really easy to get him on his side. He has to start winning. But he's actually lucky. Here's the thing: as much as I hate mentioning nationality, I think the British media has actually been a bit fair on him. Had it been a foreigner, he'd be in serious trouble, way more trouble than he is right now. Adube Lamata says again, I feel bad for Potter. He has again a good heart, but even he even if he starts winning game, how long? Sorry, even if he starts winning again, how long is it gone? Is it going to last before the losses starts again? I don't know really. Again, he's a nice guy. You can't take that away from him. But the truth is, it takes more than just being a nice guy to get the best out of your players, if that makes sense. Helgi looks sleepy. I don't know if he's sleepy. I'm not sure.
Not at all.
Adebayo Makinju says again, Porter complains too much, and that speaks to a lack of accountability and imposter syndrome at best. Again, Chelsea form is depressing. Yeah, it's nothing good to write home about it. Just quickly, Helgi, one more question before we move on from the Potter topic. This club is fast becoming a circus and a laughingstock in world football under the meal, again, Merchant and a Potter. I understand where you're coming from. But Helgi, the question I want to ask you quickly, would you say, again, the Graham Potter blames everyone but himself? I think that's the reigning thing right now, that he blames everyone else but himself. Would you say that, really?
Yeah, we can actually, and even the comment about preseason, it was a bit inappropriate in my opinion, because no one is arguing what he said. But the reality is he's not in the right condition to say that, because it can easily be interpreted as, trying to play another excuse card. And, the situation is that I have been saying it for a huge while. Maybe some people may interpret it as negative. I'm not trying to be deliberately negative. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. But the thing is that he has not contextualized himself so far. Even in the pressers or the post-match interviews he has had after this kind of games that we have had. that have been quite disappointing. The reality is that he should take more accountability, more responsibility, more and to understand that this is an environment that is quite different to his previous one. So he should tell people that I'm not here to uh, to make references with my previous job, because the more he mentions Brighton, for example, the less uh, optimal he becomes in people's eyes to lead the club in the long run. You know, you have, I don't want to make comparisons, but you see Ten Hag at United, he has never mentioned Ajax in this way, and he won a lot there. So he's only building his credentials based on what he's doing at Man United. And despite the fact that he, of course, he hasn't had the injuries that what I said, but the fact that he has inherited 98% of the team there. So you haven't seen that from Potter. Something that has to be done regarding taking responsibility in context of this kind of environment. He's a Chelsea manager, and I've been saying for a huge while, and somebody in the media said it as well, I forgot his name now, that he's acting as Brighton manager who is coaching Chelsea, not as Chelsea manager. So this worries me a lot, and because we aren't in the early days anymore, we are in the 6 months of the job. So yeah, for me, I don't want to sound as radical as saying he's blaming everyone, but himself, because many of his quotes are can be differently interpreted. But I can't deny that I'm disappointed with the fact that maybe the way he has expressed himself in the media, which hasn't been encouraging at all from my point of view, has been mirrored and reflected in the team. And this can be very damaging for the project in the long run, considering that you can instill the wrong mentality, a kind of mentality that isn't based on winning or in perfecting yourself. You may have different kind of result along the way, but we are radically bad, and 2 wins out of 15 are inexcusable. So I wanted more accountability, more something that had to be done from a Chelsea manager. I'm not trying to emulate the previous guys, but I'm trying to say that he should have been much more assertive in what he could have said from the moment he got the job until now.
All right, again, let me catch up on what we have in the chat. We don't have, again, too much time now. It should have been, again, a 30 minutes, a 30 to 1 hour show. But again, we're all 1 hour into it, but we have to round up today. Again, this club is, again, fast becoming a circus. I've read that one. Chukwemeka Nwanne says, again, I have been a Chelsea fan since I was much younger. I want all the Chelsea fans to be patient with Potter. Again, I know he will come good, again, when the players gel. Here's the thing. As much as I want everybody else, again, I'm not going to start begging people to be patient, but if you can be patient, it will be good for your own good, actually. You will live longer if you can be patient, because yes, then the point is he's not going anywhere from what we're hearing. It would take some awful, lengthy performances for him to leave. So you might as well do yourself a favor and just be patient with him. Again, I have a lot of questions. I've said, I don't think he's the man for the job, but I can change that. I am tired of players again. I post again on social media. Always some apologize. Seems like, and that is the hardest again for them now to make a post for fans. I don't know. Again, later, see you later. Logic Dawn. I hope you're doing well. This again, next game is for instead of a preseason, and we need to see any kind of progress. We need to see progress. And Limitless, big up brother. Limitless says again, Potter cannot win with Chelsea fans, whatever he say. Judgment has been passed by people who don't like him. Some don't like his demeanor on the touch, his behavior on the touchline, or his, let me say, touchline antics and all that. I think that's the least of my concerns. If he can win games, I'll take it. I don't care how he behaves on the touchline. Again, I don't care what he says. I just want him to win. You and I the same. And Chelsea all the way says, Tuchel never had a preseason, and Dean spent 600 million but won 3 trophies. Man is here giving plenty excuses on 12 million a year, a shambolic. His thing, and his salary is something. One of the reasons why I don't think the club will hire him. And if you do the calculation, fire him, which means we're losing 18 million on the spot. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
again.
why I hope there is a termination clause, because it wouldn't make
Maybe,
any sense.
but if there's none, then we're in serious trouble. People, thank you for 40 likes. That's not easy, given this is the first time the daily Chelsea news roundup is holding, and I hope you're enjoying it. Again, if you're enjoying the show, let me know if you're enjoying it. If you want to see again the second episode of the show tomorrow, let us know. Again, truth be told, preseason was so bad, Arsenal wiped the floor with us. That's the truth. Again, I was defending Potter before, but Southampton win again. A coach again. You need to be more than again 2 out of 15. Yeah, you need to win more than 2 out of 15 games, even without coach with this
Absolutely.
group. Yeah, that's the truth. Again,
Agree.
to win more than I understood that was what you were trying to say. Potter blaming a bad preseason on the Tuchel with 2 wins in 16 on 12 million a year. Man talking about his health and family. I would take that money for my health. Yeah, but that's, by the way, here's the thing. I think some stuff he says, I don't think he should be saying. It doesn't make sense to start talking about the preseason under Thomas Tuchel. That shows, I think he's truly under pressure, if that makes sense. And he shouldn't be
Yeah.
mentioned in Tuchel era. It doesn't make any sort of sense. Again, Niobi Ayang one day says again, Potter is a weak man and man can and need to take a walk of shame. Really, get out of Chelsea Football Club. He's not. He's never going to walk. He's never going to walk, if that makes any sort of sense to you. If he walks, which means he's not going to get paid. He's not going to get the payoff and all that. We won. He says we won a treble under Rafa Benitez. Todd, did we win a treble under Rafa Benitez?
We just won the Europa League.
No, he won just one trophy, a Europa League. Again, he was deflecting by bringing up preseason. Yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't make any sort of sense. And if you're in the chat, if you see the pinned message has the link to Titus YouTube channel, please go check it out again and let him know I sent you. And if you're watching, let us know what you think of the evening show called the Daily Roundup show. Again, to complete it, it says again Chelsea Daily News Roundup. And let me know if you want to see more of it. Again, it'd be interesting to see what you say there. We need to see mechanic system, and we need to see again that in the next game. Just something again. We need to win the next game. I don't care. Even the draw will not do it for me. The next one here is something. The two things I want us to look at again, because we don't have too much time. And thank you for 40 likes already. That's not easy. I sincerely do appreciate that. If you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And if you want to know again, what is it about? Again, what's again the Daily Roundup show? It's a show where we do research and see, bring together everything regarding Chelsea again that was in the news during the day. Again, you could say merge them again, put them in a concise manner and present it to you and get your opinion and also give our opinion. You can say brief analysis of all of them because it will always be a short show. See, they says again, I get the Potter banter, but the players need to finish their chances. Yep, as Roger will always agree. The truth is, again, you could say, had we scored the chances we had against Dortmund, we would have won the game by 3-1. But then again, there are other aspects of the whole game that we needed to see an improvement that we didn't see an improvement. So when we don't win, those aspects, people will most likely be highlighting those aspects. Again, a coach is as good as his players. The players currently aren't helping the situation, but still, Potter hasn't given the vibes. Wow. That is some comment from Sid there. I like that. Thank you so much. Potter had, again, a mid-season training in the Middle East. The excuses, again, for loss on Sunday is preseason. Man lacks aura. He does lack aura, truthfully, but I don't care much about that. If he wins games, if we've been winning games, I don't think anybody would be talking about his aura and all that. Tactics and pressing challenges. Next excuse is that Kante is not fit. Arsenal beat us 4-0 for a meaningless match against Potter with the worst record in Chelsea history. Pathetic, and I don't think he should be referencing that preseason at all. Which means again, that's an excuse from him. We have 10 players who are not sure again with his future. So again, how do you expect that they can give again 100%? on field when others are injured. But that's by the way, we move on from that topic. Thank you again already for 42 likes. I didn't even expect us to get to 42 likes. This is the first episode of the show. Like I said, I was so nervous I played the wrong intro, but that's by the way. I'll give this one here. Two things. This year, this is again Joao Felix talking about again the position I play and yeah, this is the position I play in. Okay, the position I play in and the way we play at Chelsea is different from how we play at Atletico. I have much of freedom to put my football into practice to be at my best. So he prefers the way we play than the way he's played on the Diego Simeone. So to me, that's a good sign. It's a plus for us. I am feeling good here. It's just getting results and then it's perfect. Like him again, the only thing that he doesn't have going his way is the results, which comes down to the team's overall performance and the manager to a certain measure. So yeah, I think he has the freedom. Like I did a short video where I'm saying I think would see the best of him, would see him play better than he's played for Atletico Madrid. Given that at Chelsea he has that freedom again to express himself, if that makes sense. This one here says again, people should keep giving all these flimsy excuses. Again, I will see what they will say when Chelsea find themselves in the relegation battle. That will scare the heck out of me, and I don't think that will happen. And then Felix here also says, I was at Atletico for 3 years, and I didn't have a chance. Here at Chelsea, I had one after one game. So I think he's feeling the love, and that's a plus for us. Like I argued before, he's trains with our players week in week again daily, and then we'll develop bond with them. Plus the chance he talked about, plus the fact that he has more freedom to express himself at Chelsea. I think we have an edge over other clubs that would want to sign him or would want to battle us for his signature. Your thoughts, Helgi?
Yeah, this is a big positive actually because I was skeptical before his signing, and he has been very impressive actually. It has wiped many of my doubts out with his presence, his personality has shown on and off the ball. He's been very very exciting as a player. One of the kind of that profile that takes you off your seat whenever he touches the ball. But I have an inner fear. You know, there is a quote that you showed when he said that the results have to now. It's only the results left to come.
Oh
And
yeah, the result is all the results again. All that are left again. Winning matches. All that is left for it to be perfect for him.
The thing is that I don't know how his reaction will be if we don't show improvement in the next games, and let's say another club which shows more stability makes him an offer in the summer. You know, I love the fact that he's adapting to a situation. He's showing the sheer difference between the treatment he's getting here compared to his situation at
Atletico
Atletico,
Madrid.
both from a tactical and a fan reception point of view, and both work in our favor, as you said. So it's a big boost. But I fear that he's on loan here, and that's why this is one of the other reasons why I would like us to have parted ways with Potter and brought an interim if we can't get a new manager in this particular moment, because I fear that he may sense a sort of persistence of something that isn't improving. Yes, we will see in the next few games. Theoretically, we are still in the Champions League, so many things can happen in football. But I don't want us to shoot ourselves in the foot and create him an environment where we don't react against negative results and performances. Because I feel that the more he plays well and the more he distinguishes himself from the others in this team, which are currently struggling, the higher are the possibilities that other teams may go in for him. And that's what I don't want him to have a change of mind. So we have to start doing things. And by doing things, I not mean baby steps, making sustainable things, showing improvement in performance, in results. Otherwise, it would be very damaging. And I'm being hypothetical at the moment, but seeing the situation from the player's eyes, it can be very damaging if we persist on something that can be everything but a project. So it's we have to provide him a platform. Yes, he's adapting well. He's playing in the right position. I'm very happy for that. But it goes beyond this aspect if you want to convince a player of his quality to stay long term with you. So let's see in the coming games. I hope he signs permanently, and we should do everything to keep him here. But I don't want us to have a situation where he would get disappointed with our recent run of results and performances, and he decides to have a change of mind and hurt. So it's we have to avoid this situation by any means.
Yep, yep. We have to try the best we can to make sure we secure Champions League place. In case we don't, if we're not sure what's going to happen against Dortmund in the second leg at the breach. We need to have Champions League football. Otherwise, it's going to be really difficult to convince him to remain again to sign on a permanent for us. This next topic, before I ask you the final question here, this one here again, just 1 second. Let me catch up with this. People should keep giving all these flimsy excuses. I will see what they will say when again I've read that one, and this one from Chelsea. Otherwise, it's again Chelsea can find themselves in the relegation battle if this trend continues. Yeah, that's for sure. I am 100% sure about it. Again, mathematically, yeah, that's for sure. At this race, could you again tell me the game you are confident we can win? It's difficult to say, really. We've won the ones I expected us to win, and we've lost the ones I expected us to win, and again, won the ones I didn't again think we could. But of late, yeah, nothing. But again, when he started, we won games I thought we'd lose, and also lose the ones I thought we'd win. But of late, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So I can't go into telling you which games I think we can win. The bottom Lambeka coach again. When are we having Asan Zarai again at the Russian international? I think the good thing is that again the news emerged that we're still interested in signing him, and the kid wants to come to us. So that makes it easier. I'm not sure when. There's no telling what we're having for political reasons. It's been difficult. Again, had it not been for the political, again, the war, the Russia-Ukraine war, I think by now he'd be a Chelsea player. But that's by the way. This one here from Enzo, I think I like the message. It shows, again, at least it shows unity. Right? If we're believing what he's saying, it says, trust the players, trust the backroom staff, trust the manager. Never forget that we are representing you, that we are trying to win games starting on Sunday. Then we can start to turn things around. Because the thing is this, whether you hate or love Graham Potter, we need to support the team. If we don't support the team, it gets worse for us, the fans. For instance, I don't again subscribe to the idea of going to the stadium with placards and booing the players during games, even if they're underperforming. It gets worse for us. Again, supporting the team doesn't actually make Potter better. Supporting the team is a different thing altogether. If Potter is bad, again, so bad that the club again they have to decide to let him go, it will happen. Supporting the team doesn't make him overnight turn him into a good manager, if that makes sense. Again, I don't know if you have anything to add to that quickly.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that the players have shown that. Even Reese made a comment earlier this week, I think, or 10 days ago. But we still come to the conclusion that football is public. So you can say whatever you want, but the results and the performance on the pitch will show it. And it's absolutely understandable that many fans are angry with the situation, with what's happening, with the radically bad performances and results. So of course they are playing their part in calming the fans down and stuff. But let's say we don't get a result against Tottenham, and everything naturally gets forgotten. So we have these quotes must be aligned and reflected on the pitch, and we haven't seen it yet. So hopefully it starts happening. And I'm happy that a player, particularly Enzo, who just came in, and the player could have easily been on demand had we left, hadn't we signed him in January, is saying that, and I'm delighted. But it has to be reflected on the pitch, and so far it hasn't come. So can't conclude anything in particular by a quote. But it's, of course, it's positive. It's better than not to have it at all.
Yeah, I just saw something concerning really, like we're saying. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Like I said, I'm not Graham Potter's biggest fan. Again, nothing will ever put me to the extent of calling him names or talking about his family. I don't think it makes any sort of sense. Uh, I
Absolutely.
again, I get it. We all love the club. We're all concerned at the direction with again which the club is going to. But still, it doesn't warrant us. Going after his family. Look at this here. This is concerning, really. It says Graham Potter has revealed that angry Chelsea fans have written a sick messages wishing he and his kids would die, and that's from the Daily Express. I don't think would be. I don't think if this is not again. I don't think he'd say this if this hasn't happened. And I've heard worse. Really, I've heard worse. I've seen someone tweet to myself. So my point is again. I'm going to say this. I'm not Graham Potter in. I have lots of questions. I don't think practically he's sound enough to coach Chelsea Football Club. I would just critique him. I would judge him by the job he's doing. That I will not go to the extent of wishing that his family dies or even writing him a letter. I
No,
don't know.
it's
I don't think it's good. I don't think I
yeah.
don't think we should be doing that. But you go ahead, Helgi, if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, that's what I said before, that people, need to divide the human from the professional side. So you may consider him out of his depth in this environment, may consider him tactically not at the right level to coach us, mediocre in a sense, in a professional sense, compared to the managers that we have had, but all on the basis of what you witness and see from inside the footballing frames. So of course it's unacceptable by any means to go to this kind of extent, because it means that you have crossed and overcrossed the line. So it's, of course, it's not something acceptable by any kind of level and any kind of perspective. The
Yeah,
conclusions may be drawn by, if you focus on the professional side, may have people that are bold in what they say. As I said, people saying out of his depth tactically, he isn't right for this environment, he's completely lost here, and stuff. But that's acceptable if you base it on what you see of him as a manager, of his the manner, the way he conducts himself in the media. And of course, that's modern football for you. You won't have immunity. Even those who mention his wage actually have a point regarding the disproportion between what he has shown so far and the wages he is getting. But all should be inside the professional aspect of the job, of his, and from our perspective as fans. So if it goes to the human side of level like we are seeing now, it's absolutely horrendous, and you can't excuse it by any means.
yeah. This such behavior shouldn't be excused. And I think if he knows whoever again those that sent him those messages, I think he should expose them so that the authorities or maybe Chelsea can deal with it. I get it. It's not, but this is not okay in any way. I'm not sure really what to say. And Rabah Taha again, and what championship you couldn't even beat Southampton. You're asking about championship. Who talked about championship? I'm not sure. And we are the worst European team on standard. Okay. More importantly, welcome to the channel, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Kachula, I agree. We need to support the team. If we win the next three games, I would say, okay, let's see until the end of the season. If not, again, count me out. Yeah, I get it. First of all, let's support the team. Then if you support the team, if something goes wrong, if we don't win, and if bad performance is down to the manager, we will still know. After
Yeah,
all the games we've lost under him, I'm sure you still wholeheartedly supported Chelsea Football Club. You
I also
wholeheartedly
go
want.
with people saying that they, the kind of hypothesis of wishing
Mhm.
that Spurs win the game because we may have the manager sacked. You don't get to that extent because we are Chelsea fans. We aren't Graham Potter fans. So,
Yeah, exactly. You're Chelsea fans. You're not Graham Potter's fans, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Chelsea is the entity you support, and if Chelsea does
absolutely.
that, you will suffer. So if that makes sense, yeah, I agree with you again. And being honest, Chelsea all the way. All the games that we've lost under Graham Potter, I'm quite sure you wanted Chelsea to win, even though even if you don't like Graham Potter. Wishing someone's family to die again is sick because of football,
Absolutely.
really sick indeed. And finally, from the Undertaker CFC, if you're paying attention, or whoever else, again, or whoever that's watching, this will be a daily show. It's called, again, the Chelsea News Roundup, Daily Chelsea News Roundup. I just have to use it for short here. What we do is look at everything, again, the news for the whole day. Again, I like with regards from a Chelsea perspective. Again, make it concise, present it to you, brief analysis for each topic, and then give you the opportunity to present your opinion on that particular topic, if that makes sense. But that's, by the way, here it says, let me get that and we can call it a day. I've seen this before, again, with a ref, the Barcelona, the officiated the Barcelona game in UEFA Champions League. The Chelsea fans say they would kill his wife and kids. I don't think that's okay. I don't think, again, I don't condone that. And honestly, if I know anybody that did that, I would report them to the authorities because it doesn't make any sort of sense. Helgi, your final thoughts before we call it a day? Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Coach, for um, giving me the pleasure of being the first guest of this brand new show. Of course, you'd want to be and talk about Chelsea if the situation is bright about the club on the pitch, and we currently don't have that luxury. But nevertheless, it's always a pleasure for me to be here, to be part of the channel in whatever way, to be part of panel, to have my own shows, to comment, to be here with you and discuss about the chat and be as interactive as possible. So the only thing I can say is thank you very much again for inviting me and for everything you have been doing, and I hope that the new show will be enjoyed by people and will contribute furthermore to the constant growth of the channel. So thank you very much, and hope will be on the up altogether.
Yep. Thank you so much. I'm not sure something Ty just wrote. I'm not sure what is it saying. Let me see what we have here again. This Kachila, what Chelsea fans said, but Porter doesn't sound like a Chelsea fan. He talks about Chelsea in third person. I don't know. This is RIP. No, I didn't see anything. Did you see anything like that, Augie?
No, 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 no.
Yeah, I don't see anything, Ty. Please, I'm not sure. I don't see anything. It's up if you hear anything, if you heard anything, please do let us know. So yeah, with that, I want to say thank you guys for finding the time to join this evening show. Again, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. This is the first one, and again, a total of 659 views on the back end, 51 likes. That's not easy. Again, for a first episode, again, like I said, I was nervous during the start. I played the wrong intro. And whenever I start anything new, that's how I am. But I know it's going to be success. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to my friend and brother, Helgi. Thank you to Ty Talks. Thank you to Chelsea all the way, the Undertaker CFC. Thank you to Robert Taha for joining Bottom Lambeka. There are other new again, Adebayo, Eugene Naughty, and Seed Day. Thank you so much again. Who else again do we have here? Ty here, and then Amil B, and some Limitless, and some other people here. Again, let's see what do we have. We have Robert Hagen. I wish he would lose skin so he could be sacked. I don't think he'd be sacked really, but I get what you're saying. But I'm never going to go to the extent, be mad to the extent that I wish my club to lose a game. And hello to you too, my brother. Unfortunately, yeah, we're ending the show again. It's going to be a daily show. It's called a Chelsea Daily News Roundup. This is the first episode, and yeah, no worries, brother. Again, and if you haven't, bro, again, anybody that's in the chart, whether you're a Manchester United fan, whatever club you support, or Chelsea, go check out my brother's YouTube channel. It's called, again, Blue Clouds Media. Be sure to subscribe. great content, and the fastest. Yeah, I would say one of the fastest growing YouTube channel. Helgi, have you subscribed to his channel? Go check it out. One of the fastest growing YouTube channels, and I think he will hit 10,000 again, 100,000 sooner than most people again believe he would. Again, he's put in the work and it's working out. Click the three dots to his name. Click on again, go to channel, get there, subscribe, and let him know. I sent you. Someone said again that on Twitter. Was just wondering if you guys heard anything. No, I didn't hear anything, so I'm not going to really talk about it. There's a chance it's not the truth. But thank you again. Big up to everyone else, and big up to my brother. Letness is greatness. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. God bless us all, and bye.